decal my tires. You're asking yourself, why decal your tires? Well, I know you guys been driving around town and you see those cars with the white wall tires, or their actual lettering of the decal is actually colored white or maybe a different color red. And I always thought that looked super badass. And I have a Tacoma 2019 with 33s on it. And I know it's an off-road vehicle, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to maybe test it out. So I'm going to attempt, I have 3 different pens here, oil-based pens, that's what you need. I have a Forney, I have 2 Milwaukee white oil-based pens, there's 2 Sharpies oil-based pens. So I'm going to test those out on a spare trailer tire that I have laying around before I attempt to apply it onto my truck, because I don't want to make it look stupid. I mean, who wants a stupid looking truck? But I'm going to test it out, and if it looks cool, if it dries well, if it applies, equally, then I am going to attempt to put it on my Tacoma. If you're seeing this video, probably means it worked. Before I get started, I'm going to just clean off the sidewall of this spare tire, and I'm literally just going to use whatever I have lying around the house. Before anything, safety first. You don't want that crap getting on your hands. So I'm going to get to this, just clean down real quick, shouldn't take very long, and then we'll try applying this junk. I have this cleaned off, and surprisingly got a lot of crap off of it, so that's good to know. And I'm just gonna start working my way. Maybe I have this, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it says Lodestar. And basically what I'm gonna do, since I have 3 styles of pens here, every other letter with a different pen. And we're gonna see how that works. So, starting with Forney. And so, you wanna make sure you give it a good shake. Okay, I think it's ready. From what I understand, you have to prime the pump, essentially. So find something hard to push it down against until the ink starts coming out. Still nothing. Not a good start. Oh, here it goes. Kind of splattered everywhere. Finally getting some ink flow, but I did manage to paint myself, so don't do that. We got a flow yet? Okay, here we go. Attempt number 1. And you're just gonna wanna do 1 coating. You don't wanna just try to get the whole thing down the first attempt. I will move on to the next pen and then the pen after that, and we'll see what happens. My first attempt was on this pen right here, and I can't tell if you can see that. It's pretty shoddy, but I'm gonna try my next pen, the Milwaukee, on this next letter, and we'll just see what happens. So I already primed it. Okay, so already I'm liking this one a lot better. It's applying a lot more evenly, and I just like the ball point that it has. It makes it easier to stay within the lines, and already the first coat is applying way more evenly. Remember though, you're just getting a first coating on, and make sure you prime that ink so it comes out easily. Alright, so that's attempt number 2. I am going to try the A with the Sharpie. There we go. I don't know if this shows up on the camera very well, but this was the first pen that I tried out. Didn't really like it. I'm probably not going to use that pen. This one was the Milwaukee pen, and right here is the 3rd Sharpie pen. And at this point, it's either between the Milwaukee and the Sharpie. But I'm gonna let it dry for a minute, and then I'm going to apply a second coat. I completed the lettering, okay, and I decided I'm just gonna use the Milwaukee one and the Sharpie. This pen, garbage. You gotta remember to stay in the lines, because honestly, outside of me not doing a very good job with my stenciling here, the applying of it was pretty easy and also looks pretty even. I only gave it 2 coats, so when I apply it to my truck, I might do 3 coats just to be safe. So, As you can see, I kind of didn't get in the line there. But I think overall, not terrible. Okay, so I think what my strategy is going to be is I'm going to start off just with the outline. And I already cleaned off these tires. So I'm going to start off with the outline with one of the letters. And then I'm going to go from there. And if I like that, and if it looks all right, I might try filling it in. But I really don't want to go overboard. Because like I said, once that paint is on there, I don't think there's any way to reverse it. Wish me luck. Here we go. Let's see how this turns out. I just did the first coat, and actually that looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna stick with just the outline. First layer is done. I missed the A. Anyways, I'm gonna let this dry and I'll see what happens. Okay, while this top layer is drying, I'm gonna work on these bottom decals too. So I'm letting that first layer dry. And while that's drying, I'm just gonna work on the rest of the truck. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna run it out, see what happens. Okay, so here's a quick, just a preview of what the truck looks like without the decal on the tire. And I've already started on the front passenger side. But so, as you can see, it's pretty basic. And kind of looking a little blah. But here's the only tire that I've done so far. And just off the bat, that actually looks pretty sick. So, pretty pumped to see how this is gonna turn out. Okay, so I will say this is my first coat, but from a distance, I mean, that looks pretty cool. Up close, you can see all the little mistakes I've made, but honestly, like I said, from a distance, not too shabby. And I decided I wasn't gonna fill in the whole letter, just the outline, and it just makes it look so good. So I would definitely recommend giving it a shot. it's done. So you just have to make sure you summon your 3rd grade arts and crafts self, because you got to make sure you stay within those lines. So pay really close attention to what you're doing. It's probably about an hour-and-a-half long journey it took me to do 2 coats. Just take your time, but I think it's worth it. From a distance, you know, 5-10 feet, it looks really cool. I mean, if you're up in my business looking at my tires real close, then you're gonna see the imperfections, but I think it was a fun little project, cool little mod, really cheap. It only cost you know, 10-15 bucks. I bought multiple sets of pens, but you really only need 2, so you can go to your local hardware store. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more videos, more mods, more trail adventures, overlanding, everything's to come. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.